Okay, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I created these photographs of my friend Demi. Using off-camera flash and smoke. Plus, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I edit my favourite photographs from this shoot in Lightroom. So, let's crack on. Okay, so I am with the amazing Demi today, and this is not Demi as you're used to seeing her. Demi has come over to the glamorous surroundings of the garage to actually help me film 2 Flashmaster tutorials for my brand new Creating Something from Nothing series, which you can watch in Flashmasters in our tutorial section. So I've loved today, not only because I'm so pleased with the shots we've got, but also shooting Demi in a different way. You'll recognize Demi from so many of my videos. She's been a star and I've shot her for years, and I'm very proud to call her a friend now, but we've only ever really done bridal, whereas today I've seen Demi doing fashion and she's amazing. So I said, while we've got you here, can we just do one more shoot where I'm just going to do loads of crazy stuff. We're going to add smoke, lights, gels and shoot through filters and see what we get. So I'm very, very excited for this. As always though, I'm going to start off by just taking some basic shots and we will build up in layers as we've just been doing in the Creating Something from Nothing Flashmaster tutorial series. So I'm on my Sony A9 today with my Sirui 85mm f1.4 lens. If you want to see a whole review on this lens, I will link to it up here. And I have at the moment a Godox V100 in the MagMod Pro 24 Octa, which is obviously going to be lighting Demi. There is, as you can see, the mag grid on here. As I always say, I personally like to have that softbox nice and close to Demi for 2 reasons. One, the closer your light source, it becomes bigger, so relatively to your subject, it will be a big light source which creates softer light, but for me, the main reason is creating dramatic fall off. What that means is when the light comes out of the softbox and hits Demi, it will not impact this area quite quickly, so we're going to get really nice light on Demi's face and it will fade away quickly. If we have the softbox further away, then the fall off will be bigger. So that means that the light will hit Demi here and continue remaining quite impactful, quite low. But if you want dramatic shots, as we've been doing tonight, then you want to have your softbox close for a more dramatic fall off. So without adding anything else, I'm just going to take a very basic shot of Demi with the mag box. Should just say that we have the lights on in this space at the moment, just to help me with focus and to help you see me in the video. But if I put my camera into into manual and just take a shot of Demi in natural light with the settings that I will use for my off-camera flash shots, which is 1/200th of a second, f1.4, ISO 100, we should hopefully see that the ambient light is barely affecting this exposure. In fact, if I go to 2/50th and ISO 64 and take that same shot again, there you go, you can barely see Demi. So the main thing to take away is that the natural light, the ambient light, these lights in other words, are not affecting the exposure. So all the light that you see in the shots that I take in this video will be coming from my off-camera speed lights. So let's turn on the mag box, that is speedlight A. So with nothing else, let's just see what we get here. Perfect, that's really nice. The speed light at the moment is on 132 power. Just got to look at this thing. Is that a bit too, yeah, it's a little bit too hot spotty. So let's just turn that speed light down to 128. That's really nice. Let's just see what 64 does with the power. Beautiful, Demi. Yeah, that's gorgeous light. Yeah, we're not losing any highlight. So that is good for our speedlight A. So what I'll now do, in fact, let's just take a couple of shots here with this as it is. Beautiful, Demi. Okay, so let's get more exciting now, and we're going to add in 2 speedlights behind Demi. I'm going to use 2 VH60s. One has a orange MagMod gel. I say orange, it's actually a full CTO gel. That's going to go on this side, and the other one has a purple gel on it. This one is going to be speedlight B, so when I look at them I'll remember which one is which. So we'll put B here, that's got a purple gel on, and say this is speedlight C. So A in the mag box, B and C behind. Both of those speed lights that are behind Demi, I'm going to put onto, let's put onto 132 power, just see what that does first of all. And I'm keeping those out of the, oh yes, nice. Just need to move this one a little bit more to the side. It's just creeping into the shot. That should do it. Nice, Demi. Perfect. Oh, that's, you're doing perfect there, Demi, and I do love that pose. I just need to move this a little bit higher.
Is it okay? Let us see.
Don't worry.
The 2 test of the V100. Will it turn back on?
Yes.
It's alive!
Yeah, it is. I've got to say that's broke, but it's not. Wow. Did you get that on camera?
I did.
It's good for the content. I tried to catch him with my foot. I don't think I did, though. Right, let's just carry on shooting. Really good. So I'm just looking at these now thinking, do I need to change anything? And I think maybe the lights that are behind Demi could just be turned down. Demi is smashing these, but the smoke will act as a bit of a diffuser and make the speed lights look a bit brighter. So I'm going to put both B and C, the 2 speed lights that are behind Demi, down to 164 power. So we've now got all 3 lights on 164. Gonna come back a bit further. Gorgeous, Demi. Yeah, this is perfect now. Yeah, excellent. Note as well that I have my camera in medium burst mode so that I can shoot a lot of shots quickly. That's because when the smoke comes, it will change very quickly, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the very best moment. So I'm giving myself the best chance by shooting fast. And to do that with off-camera flash, you want to be in medium. So I think we should introduce the smoke now. So I'm afraid, Helen, I'll ask you to take, can't speak. It's been a long day. Okay, Helen. Oh, can you think you can do both?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Should just say sorry, my bad. This, everyone, is the Colbor CF5 smoke machine. I was sent this to review by Colbor, and genuinely I love it. Here is my full review video, but I can tell you now I've used it on a number of shoots since. Genuinely, I think this is an amazing smoke machine. It's actually a fog machine, but I always call it a smoke machine. But yeah, it's great. So I'm now just using this because I want to use it, and it's really, really good. It's very simple. Just got to turn it on here. You'll see that I've got this attachment on, which gives like a dry ice effect. So when we turn this on, it creates this really cool sort of thick smoke. And when we put that behind Demi, then the light will hit it and it should look very, very effective. So I will pass that to Helen and ask you to start, Helen, a little bit sort of midway up Demi, if that's okay. So biggest challenge here is actually hiding Helen. I should say as well that this smoke hangs a lot. So I am going to open up this door. The problem is, once you've got the smoke going, it fills the room really quickly, but it looks at its best when the smoke is relatively new. Okay, gorgeous, Demi. Yeah, that's good. Really good. They're brilliant. Oh, Demi is smashing these. Yeah, love those, Demi. Okay, Helen, we'll pause there. Yeah, perfect. Demi, they're amazing. As I said before when we was making the Flashmaster tutorials, I'm so not used to seeing Demi in this cool, edgy, fashion type poses. Notice as well, I did take a lot of shots there because Demi's constantly moving, and by doing what I'm doing there and shooting so fast, you're giving yourself the best chance of getting the one. Not bad at this.
As with all my photographs, all the photographs in this video were edited using my Lightroom preset pack 4, which includes 26 magic masks, 18 brushes, my base colour and black and white preset, plus a 2-hour editing tutorial video in which you see me editing 101 photographs using all the tools in the preset pack, so you can see exactly how I edit my photographs in Lightroom. You can download the pack now from my website.
Okay, so I've gone a little bit crazy now. I have turned off the mag box, so the V100 is not going to have any effect on this. I've moved Speedlight B to in front of Demi, or rather to the side, more or less, so it's just side lighting. That has a purple gel on it and a grid. That is to stop the spill from hitting the background. I've got a very similar setup on this side, except it's a full CTO gel and a grid for the same reason. It's not that far back because we've got this cupboard here. And behind Demi, I've got an AD200 with a blue or a half CTB gel on there. D doesn't need to be as strong because it is an AD200. It's going to put that down to, put it down to 132 power. My settings are still the same. 1/250th, which is to kill the ambient light, f1.8 and ISO 64. As I always will do in these situations, before we introduce the smoke, I'm going to get my base settings in. So let's just see what that gives. I think that is cool. Really cool. Now notice that that effect that we're getting from behind Demi is happening because there is still a lot of smoke in the air. Do you know what? I think I'm actually going to turn on A just to add a little bit of light from above. You can see it was off. And I want to turn it on now, just to see. Yeah, that was cool. This is not what I was expecting these shots to look like. However, I think it looks cool. So we'll add in the smoke now. Again, if you can be nice and close to Demi, please, Helen. That's it, cool. Perfect, Demi. Oh, 1 second, stop, Helen, my bad. Notice, and this is good, that the smoke is blowing out now. That is because, as I mentioned during the video, when you use smoke and you backlight that smoke, it becomes like a giant diffuser and it becomes much brighter than you think it's going to be. So what I'm going to do first of all is turn off D and let's just see what happens without the backlight, okay? Now these won't be what I want because eventually I'm going to turn D down, but let's just see. That's still nice though. Just looking up towards the light again, Demi, if that's okay. Yeah, very cool. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, they look really, really good. So I am now going to turn D back on for the last shot, but lower the power massively. So we were on 132. We'll put that down now to 128. Yeah, just a little quick test. Yeah, in fact, before I actually ask Helen to add any more smoke, we're just going to use the ambient smoke that's already there. So let's just shoot here. Yeah, these are cool. Really good, Demi. Perfect. Just see where Helen stood.
This is so weird. I have Demi just looking all gorgeous and beautiful in a sequin dress.
So do you.
And I just cuddled down here like, don't look at me.
We're going to keep on shooting for a minute, but because weirdly, it's actually better to let that smoke dissipate slightly. Yeah, nice. Let's see what we're getting. Gorgeous, Demi.
Oh, cool.
Couple more for the TikTokers. So good. It's really important to everybody watching this that you recognise just how much of a team effort this is and how I'm just shooting and Demi's just doing her thing and showing how good she is at posing. Please don't think that this is all down to my camera settings. This is me just shooting Demi doing her thing, and these look stunning. Amazing, Demi, thank you. Perfect. Okay, what I'm now going to do is show you me editing one of my favorite photographs from this shoot with Demi. But thank you so much, Demi. You have smashed not just this shoot, but the shoot with the tinfoil, the shoot with the bubbles. It's been amazing. I've really seen a different side to Demi tonight. I'm very, very impressed. And now I just want to just shoot this sort of stuff, not bridal anymore. It's a joke, everyone, it's a joke. And of course, a massive thank you to the amazing Helen as well, who's been incredible. Helen is an amazing photographer in her own right. Right, so I'm going to pass you over to me now in Lightroom.
Before we get into the editing, I just want to say again a massive, massive thank you to Demi. She was absolutely incredible on this shoot and on the previous 2 videos that we made at the same time in the garage. I'd never seen her posing like that, but I was wowed. So let's get on with the editing. I got Lightroom open here, and this is the image that I'm going to edit for you. This is straight out of camera. As you can see here, I've not changed any of the settings whatsoever. In fact, let's press reset again. So that is the out of camera file, and I'm really pleased with it. I mean, it's easier when you're in a controlled environment, but hopefully you can see that we don't need to do very much. Anything that I'm going to do now is really going to be just like minor tweaks. In particular, I want to make minor tweaks to the background, to the smoke, and give that smoke more impact and a little bit more color. First of all, let's do some what I call global changes. Our global changes are where we change these sliders. I'm not going to apply my preset. Usually I would. There is my preset down there, but this is not about selling my presets. As you know, I do sell a preset pack, which contains all these magic masks and lots of brushes as well. But I'm going to do everything in this video from scratch. If you do want to buy, or you are interested in finding out more about the presets, here is the link to do so. But I'm not going to use any of my brushes, masks, or the presets in this tutorial. So the histogram, which is the first thing I always look at, is really good for this image. We've got information across the whole width of the histogram, which basically means that our exposure was good. I don't need to bring up the whites anymore. Equally, we're not losing any detail. I always have these 2 boxes ticked. What that would show me with the blue that I am losing details in the blacks if we push down the blacks too much. Equally, because I've got this box checked, if I was to push up the whites too much, we start to see some areas of red there, and that means that we're losing detail in the whites. Don't want to do that. So I always have these 2 boxes marked, and I like to try and get information across the whole of the histogram, but without losing detail. So I don't want to see any of that blue or any of that red, but we don't here, so that's fine. So all I'm going to do here is a few tweaks. Now, I actually prefer this image if we lower the white balance slightly. So let's do that. Let's go down a little bit, and I'm basically just eyeballing this, just thinking, yeah, I think it looks nice about there, I would say. I like color, I like vibrancy, so let's turn up the vibrancy and the saturation. We'll go about here, so that looks nice. Do I want to make any other global changes? Yeah, I'm just going to bring down the highlights ever so slightly, not much. I'll bring up the whites a little bit as well, and maybe the shadows, bring them up a little bit, but not really anything more than that. It's very, very straightforward. Where I'm going to really change this image is using brushes and masks. First of all, I'm going to press M on the keyboard. That is a shortcut for a linear gradient. First of all, let's just reset everything, so make sure, yeah, nothing else is going to be applied. And I'm going to drag over from the left-hand side. Now, notice how we have an area of red here that is fading away into nothing when we get to this third line. That means that the effect that we're going to apply is going to start off strong on the left-hand side here and slowly fade away. So what I want to do here is add impact and change the temperature of the smoke. So I'm going to start, first of all, by lowering the white balance to something much cooler, which is going to make that smoke look much bluer, which I really like. But the real place where we add impact is going down here to the effects tab, where we have texture, clarity, and dehaze. So I'm going to push up the texture. That's going to just obviously add texture to the smoke, which I really like. And where we're really going to see a difference is when we bring up the clarity. We'll put that up to somewhere like 80 as well. Dehaze, you can see there if we go left what the effect is. We can see there what happens when you go right. So I'm going to go right a little bit, but not too much. Now notice a couple of things here. First of all, we're starting to lose detail in the black areas at the bottom. And we can see that because Lightroom is showing us that with the blue there. So I want to keep an eye on that and make sure that we don't lose that detail. But the other problem we've got is that the effects of the linear gradients are affecting part of Demi. If I press O on the keyboard, we can see that the red is overlapping her. And I don't want that. I don't want to be pushing up the texture and the clarity on skin. So what we want to do is remove Demi from the mask that we've just made, and that's actually very simple to do. We go up here with the mask selected, we click on subtract, then we're going to subtract our subject, in this case Demi. Let's click on there, and instantly she is no longer part of the mask. You can see when I press O, it's only affecting the area behind Demi. So it's a really, really useful tool, that one. So I'm going to now do the same thing on the other side of Demi, on the right hand side, but this time I'm going to make that area much warmer. So again, I'm going over Demi, but this time rather than pushing down the white balance, I'm going to push up the white balance. We see it's a little bit too bright for me here, so I'm just going to bring down the highlights like that. Maybe a little bit of the exposure. And again, let's go down to texture, push that up again. And clarity as well. So it's similar to a little bit of dehaze. So that's the opposite of what we had before. Now, if you want to, you can also change the color by playing with the hue slider as well, as you'll see like that. So we can make it a bit redder, which is what I think I actually did for the example I showed you in the video. Can also push the saturation up as well. Again, though, this mask is affecting Demi as well because we haven't taken her out of the mask as yet, as you can see. So let's do the same as before with this mask selected, which it is, subtract and subject. Demi's outside of that now. So we're getting something that looks, I think, quite effective there. But we are losing a little bit of detail in the blacks at the bottom. So I'm going to press M, another linear gradient, go up from the bottom, and I'm just going to go up with the blacks like that. So it's very, very subtle, but that's quite an important change, especially if you were to print this image out. I might also as well just bring back a little bit of the smoke that will be there, but we can't quite see at the moment in some of the shadow areas. So this time I'm going to press K, which is a new brush. I'm going to bring up the exposure and just go over those areas where it looks like we might have more smoke to come out of the shadows like that. Let's push up the whites as well. And again, we'll go down to our clarity and our texture. Now, the last thing I'm going to do with this image is just add a subtle vignette just to put the focus more onto Demi, something like that. And again, if we now look at our before, we've lost a little bit of the black. So just for the sake of being good, let me just reset this, increase the blacks, and just go over those little areas there. So we're not losing any detail anywhere. The histogram looks good, and I really like this shot. So we've not needed to make huge changes to this image. In fact, as you see, I've not made any changes at all to Demi. I've just been changing the background and giving more punch, texture, clarity, and color to the background. Although, to be honest, I do really like the straight out of camera version, which is never a bad thing. So we've gone from there to there. Massive thank you again to Demi and to Helen for all their help with this video. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.